The mini sub I'm installing today is a 400 watt unit with an integrated amplifier. It wires in the same way as a typical sub would. For ease of installation, I'm using this pre-made Boss kit. It comes with a power wire, hardware, ground wire, signal wire, high and low level cables, fuse, and corrugated wire loom. Step 1 is deciding where you want to mount your sub. So this mini sub does fit quite nicely in this orientation. You can mount this anywhere you want. Right here on the floor pan is fine. But for me, I'm going to put it here. First, we'll need to run our power wire for the sub. Choose one of the supplied ring terminals that best fits your application. I chose to put mine here on this part of the battery post. Once you strip the power wire, you can then crimp on your ring terminal. Then get the wire in place near your battery and add the wire loom. Zip tie it in place to keep it from being pulled out. Leave it disconnected from the battery until the install is complete. Now you can route the power wire to the cab. If you have one, these little grabber tools come in pretty handy for this part. I went through this large grommet for the pass-through into the cab. I was then able to easily pull it out the rest of the way into the cab. Lay the wire along your desired route and make sure you have enough length before you make any cuts. With your cable laid out, you can now find a spot to install the fuse. Cut and strip the wire, then add the fuse cap and rubber seal. Next, you can install the brass fuse holder. Get it snug, but be careful not to over-tighten it. Slide the seal and cap up to meet the brass fuse holder. You can then install the fuse. Note that there is a beveled edge on the brass piece as well as the holder. Be sure to orient this properly as you install the fuse into the holder. Repeat these steps for the other side to completely install the fuse. Be sure to secure the fuse somewhere on the body. For the ground wire, simply install a ring terminal and tap it into the body or frame. Next are your low-level wires and the signal wire that runs to the head unit. Pass the wire up through the dash in a way that doesn't interfere with any existing wires or moving parts. Pull it through with enough length left that you can easily wire it into your head unit. Follow the same route for your low-level cables. You can now connect and solder in the wire to your head unit's harness. If you plan on installing a backup camera, now is a good time to run the video cable. Before you finalize your wire install, double check to make sure it does not interfere with the pedals or anything under the dash. Zip ties are cheap. I like to use plenty of them to make sure the wire management looks nice and clean. It also helps to keep them in place through the install. Because of where I chose to install the sub, I had to take off the seatbelt bracket as well as this rear trim piece. It's just held in with these clips, the same way the dash bezel was. I then removed this bracket and the 2 push pins, which gave me full access to the rear cab panel. You can now strip your ground wire, power wire, and head unit wire. Plug in your low-level inputs, or high-level if that's what you chose to run. Insert the power wire and install it with the set screw. Same thing for the head unit wire and your ground wire. If you want to use the base level remote, plug it in now and run it along with the rest of your wires. You can now mock up your amp where you want to install it. Double check for fitment issues, and then you can mark the mounting brackets. The amp comes with its own set of hardware, but I opted to use these roofing screws with rubber grommets. Now you can tie up any loose ends on your wiring and get it tucked away nicely. I then finished trimming up the panel cover so that it would fit around the speaker nicely. I reinstalled the bracket and push pins, followed by the trim panel and seatbelt. Well, this trim job didn't come out as good as I was hoping, but I am pretty happy with the wire management. You won't be able to see them at all. I've got them running through the kickboard here, up, you come around, back through the dash, up, and out to the radio. After putting the fuse cover panel back in place, I then installed the remote for the sub. The connector on the back is easy to unplug for the next time the panel needs to come off. With the wires routed, you can then reinstall the kick panel, as well as the trim piece for the floorboard. Then all that's left to do is plug the wires into your head unit. With your radio installed, you can now enjoy some bass.